All right, 2 years after Joey Porter won a Super Bowl with the Steelers, by the way, Derek Carr was the quarterback at BCHS. A senior, Carr and the Eagles were playing in a Valley Championship game at Corcoran. It wasn't just any game. It wasn't just any road trip. If you didn't see the game, don't worry. Most of the fans in the stands didn't see it either, as a thick fog rolled in on the Valley. These were the highlights as we presented them back in 2008 with post-game reaction from head coach Doug Barnett and his players.
Yeah, just a little bit of fog. You could hear the crowd on the other side. You just couldn't see them. Late first quarter, 7-0 Eagles. Derek Carr to Jake Peterson. The connection and a first down. Same drive, we're going to turn it around because now it's the second quarter, and they're inside the 10-yard line. And this pass is going to be picked off by a diving Brant Boteil. That is a beauty of an interception right there. Panthers grab some momentum on that play right there, and they grab even more here. Boteil, who's their all-everything running back, breaking free, long run into the CCHS territory, trust me, because he's gone in the fog. You see the hat, that's about it right there. It's 98 yards later, it wasn't a long run, but 98 yards later, they cap the drive, Boteil rolling in, game tied 7-7. First play after the kickoff, Christian Taylor, far side, and the guy in the white jersey is just going to disappear. You can sort of see him there, right? And there he goes. Off to the races. Take my word for it. He is going to score. Touchdown. Those guys, did you see him? Oh, I didn't see him. What did you see? There he is. Touchdown, 14-7. Late second quarter. And watch this. The Eagles to punt. It's a fake. Oh, but they can't connect. Blame it on the fog. Turning the ball over on down. So Corcoran driving, facing 4th and less than 1. They jumped off the sides before the snap, so now it's 4th and 5. And the Eagles defense holds on this run right here. So it's 14-7 at the half as they go in the locker room. Listen to Panthers quarterback Anthony Ramirez.
Underdogs, 7-14 at half. Let's get it, baby.
Underdogs, 14. So they were wearing that underdog crown. Third quarter, here we go. Eagles come out throwing. Carr to Colby Heron. Then Carr to Marcus Hall, who's going to shed a tackler and outrace everyone to the end zone. Touchdown. 21-7 Eagles. And they got a little bit of momentum on their side as well. And then the defense steps up. Austin Telema with the quarterback sack, forcing Corcoran to punt. And here's where the real momentum swing was. The snap is going to be low, bobbled, knocked around, and then tackled. At the 3, the Eagles swarming on the Corcoran 3-yard line. Very next play, Carr fakes. We'll go with the fake for a second. Come on back. And there's Carr with the touchdown. What was a 14-7 game is now 28-7 Bakersfield Christian. But the Panthers, to their credit, don't go away quietly. Ramirez, the keeper. And he is off to the races. It looks like he gets tripped up at the end here. He actually dives in, and he's penalized for diving into the end zone. So they had to be pushed back. They missed their 2-point conversion. It's 28-13. Fourth quarter, Eagles on the move. Carr scrambles, runs out of bounds, gets a nice block by a receiver, and then Christian Taylor, who just had a monster game. You know, we talk so much about the passing. How about the running and the defense in this Valley Championship game? That's his third score of the game. It's 35-13. Raise your jerseys. More Eagles defense. Pass far sideline, picked off by Colby Heron. It was his second interception of the game, and he goes all the way for the score, but the run is going to be called back for a block in the back. So no touchdown for Colby Heron. Well, then again, maybe there was. Very next play. Carr, fake pump, thrown to Colby Heron, touchdown. And Heron gets his TD another way. 42-13 Eagles on top. One more bright spot for the Panthers. Brant Boteil again, right up the gut, touchdown. It is now 42-20. So the Eagles get the ball back. Very next play, they're trying to run the clock down. So you give it to Christian Taylor, right? Figure pick up 4, 5, 6 yards, the clock runs. No, Taylor gets to the outside, gone again. His 4th touchdown of the game, 206 yards for the game. And you may as well just call it right here. Corcoran gets a late touchdown, but that is that. Celebration is going to begin. Coach, he's about to get a shower coming up right about now. Watch Coach Doug Barnett. Whoa. And then watch him here because he thinks he's going to get another one. He's going to flinch. We'll get another shot right here, and watch them flinch a little bit. There you go. Oh, no, I thought you were I thought you were going to get me again. Bakersfield Christian wins his second straight Division V Valley Championship. Second straight on the road as well. Your final 49-27. The Eagles clear winners on a foggy night.
What an incredible opportunity. What a blessing from the Lord to have such a great group of kids that just come out and fought real hard. We asked for adversity all week, and this fog and all the different kinds of things. What a great opportunity for our kids.
They were good. They're a good team. But again, I can't be prouder of our guys, how we stepped up in the second half.
The best fan in the world. Two times, that's right, baby. 2 times. 2 times. It feels great. We worked hard, and I'm just happy. Right now.
All right, so again, Bakersfield Christian, congratulations to the Eagles, 49-27.
And you see our different graphics package from
Quick
back
question.
in 2008. Yeah.
You shot that game in the fog.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
I probably shoot better in the fog than I do in daylight. But yeah.
What
It
were
was
you
eerie.
thinking when you were driving to the game, like driving towards the
I'll tell you
fog?
what, that was probably some of the worst decision making I ever made, because I got off the set and drove to Corcoran in bad fog, probably
100 miles per hour.
No, I didn't speed, but I was just sort of like,
Going fast.
feeling like I had to hurry.
Right.
And the way back was brutal too, and I had to be back for the 11 as well.
So that was a young Derek Carr. Is that his senior year?
Yeah, it was his senior year. Yeah. His one and only year at BCHS. He came from Houston. They had just moved back after when David was playing for the Texans. So, yeah, crazy. So we're not done with that story. 12 years later, we caught up with Coach Barnett and a couple of his players to recollect that night in Corcoran. This was a few months ago. In some cases, like the game, their memories were a little foggy. But some things you never forget.
What do you remember, first of all, about that trip just getting there?
We really weren't supposed to go there. They should have been coming to us. That's what I kind of remember. We lived in Bakersfield. It was absolutely beautiful. And then we got to Wasco. We couldn't see 5 feet in front of the bus. Just trying to figure out, I remember calling CIF, trying to figure out at what point do they call the game? Is there any way to turn this around and get it back in Bakersfield? We were ready to do all of that stuff, but they just said, no, you know what, we're going to play, we're going to keep things going, and so don't worry about it, we're good.
I remember falling asleep in pretty clear conditions. I remember waking up and not being able to see out the window. I'm assuming I woke up probably like when we got off the 99 and started heading west into Corcoran, and I just remember waking up and thinking, oh my goodness, are we going to play a football game in this? I can't see the side of the road.
I was kind of nervous. I was like, where are we? I've still never seen Corcoran.
I still haven't seen, I don't know what the city is. I don't even know what they have down there, downtown or not.
It was a hostile environment before we got there. It was hostile before we got off the bus. I think they realized that perhaps they had their hands full and they were going to try to intimidate us, and you weren't going to intimidate our kids. That just wasn't going to happen.
You couldn't see the other sideline.
We couldn't see even the stands, the fans in the stands. We could just hear them cheer. So, yeah.
How weird was that?
It was very strange. And sometimes I was on the sideline a lot, but if you see the play on the other side of the field, you could just hear the crowd cheer or not cheer, and you could kind of like tell what happened on the play just by the sound of the crowd.
Did you sort of draw off of the crowd, even though you couldn't see them, that if you couldn't see the play but you could hear the crowd, you sort of knew something was up?
A little bit, but I remember that the crowd was always late. So they wouldn't cheer at the right times. They would cheer like delayed. And so we'd score and they'd cheer like after we kicked the extra point. Like it would take some time for it to kind of get relayed.
I talked to my mom. I called her, and she was like, "We didn't know until you scored until they let us know." And then I was like, "But I remember the first play, I remember Boschma pulled. He like came around and blocked. I just went through, and there was nobody on that right side. So I just ran, and that's the fog. I ran like walk by faith, not by sight. Like just ran, and I think I passed the referees. So I'm waiting there with the ball. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, it's like 10 seconds. I'm holding the ball, and the referees are just barely saying touchdown. So I get to the field, like I'm trying to look for the referee, and then they finally announce it, like, oh, touchdown. I'm on the sidelines like this. I'm like, oh, Okay, so it's that kind of game.
Look, you were standing on the same sideline I was. The Colby Heron interception on the far sideline.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I don't think anyone saw it. I don't even think their coaches saw it until he was standing on our sideline and he had the ball. And it's like, oh yeah, he's the one that had the ball and was on defense, and now he's standing here.
You couldn't see any of the stands. You couldn't really see anybody on the sidelines. And so in a weird sense, you kind of felt like you were playing the game alone.
It was a cold night, a foggy night, and you got a bath at the end. What do you remember about that?
You know what? The kids knew that was one of my pet peeves that I really didn't particularly care about, but it was the end of the year. It wasn't that big of a deal, and it was a hard year. That was a very, very hard year, and so it was well deserved and something that I still remember to this day.
Well done.
Tell you what what I noticed the most is over 12 years, my hair's gone away. They've all got more hair. I mean, including Coach.
The gentleman with the beard, Taylor Roach,
Yes.
Derek Carr center.
Yes, right.
He won a couple
Exactly.
Valley championships
Yeah.
at BCHS.
Yeah,
Great guy.
exactly.
Great guy.
And Christian Taylor had 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards in that game and the game before. He had a whale of 2 games. That was amazing. And fun, too. It's just one of those memories.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up, not 1, but 2 of the best moments in BC football history in the past 34 years. We'll take you back to 1988 and then fast forward to 2012. That's next as the spring edition of Hometown Sports continues.